Hey everybody, Donnie here. I don't know about you, but I have struggled over the last 3 days to try to figure out how to process everything that's been happening in our world. I don't need to review it. I know you know everything that's been happening. And it's not just this last week. It's been going on for a couple weeks now. And it feels like the level of trauma that we are experiencing every single day just seems to increase and almost get worse. Yesterday on my way home from my weekly job, which is a hospice chaplain, I felt like the Lord gave me a word to say, this is what I put you in front of. I put you in front of people who are grieving, who are in mourning and in loss, struggling to find answers with what's happening in their own personal life. And I feel like that's kind of the microcosm of what's going on globally for us right now. And I don't have all the answers, but I do have some insights that I feel like God has kept putting in front of me over the past few days. And I'd like to share those with you today. What I often get from my family members after they have experienced the loss of a loved one, often some of these losses come very quickly. I had a patient not too long ago that their father was diagnosed with terminal cancer within a week of his death. And it was just so quick. It was so traumatic that I remembered them asking recently, Donnie, when does the grief go away? I'd like to tell you that it goes way quick. But the reality is that grief sits close. It doesn't go away easily. In fact, I say trauma lingers and waits for an opportunity to make grief even closer and remind us that we're still hurting. And like the disciples on the road to Emmaus, many of us are saying the same things we had hoped. They had hoped that Jesus would rise. They had hoped that things would be different in their world. But on that third day, their hope felt like it was slipping away. And here's the thing that I want to remind you of. Sometimes it isn't that people have no hope. It's that grief and pain bury that hope so deep that we seem to can't even recognize it. And yet Jesus comes close. He walks with us even when we don't see him, and he surprises us with his presence and love. It isn't until the disciples sat at the table and were invited by Jesus to break bread that their eyes were opened and they realized that he had been with them the whole time. So today I want to invite you to bring your grief and your anger and your sorrow to the table. I want to invite you to our church that I pastor every single week, Neighborhood Friends Church. Tomorrow at 10:30, we will table together around the hope that Jesus offers. The link is in the bio. Go to neighborhoodfriends.org if you want to find more information about our church. But tomorrow is going to be a special gathering of prayer and worship. We're going to sit in that sorrow and sit in that grief and understand that even though we might feel like hope is gone, it's the trauma, it's the sorrow, it is the grief that buries that hope that's inside of us. And we want to let that hope come to the surface again so that we can understand and know that Jesus has been with us this entire time and he will never leave us. Come join us.